Hey, Kimberly Ann, are you ready for a PMM, a political ministry moment? Listen, God said that we should be good and faithful stewards of everything that He has given us. And God has given us a nation. Who doesn't take care of your home, your family, your job, your bank account, your wallet, your car, but yet you let your nation go to hell? Ooh, did you say that word? Yep. Sure did. So God has made you a steward over your nation. Do what you're supposed to do. Amen. Do what you can do. And I'll say this, everything I'm saying to you today, go look it up. I'm speaking to you truth, all fact, but you go look it up and see if what I'm saying is true. Kamala Harris said in her DNC conversation and many other times, I am tough on the border. That's a lie. It's a lie. L-I-E, a lie. She can say whatever she wants. Let's go. How can she be so brazen, I'm wondering, to say that to us, we who have been watching what has and has not been going on for 4 years? I find it so amazing that they think just because it was that you say it with flourish and passion and woo, and you look good, whatever you're doing, just because you say it in a certain way, all of a sudden everything that we've seen with our own eyes and heard with our own ears and it's in our mind what's been going on the last 4 years, just because you say something different now, are we just supposed to go, oh, well, huh? Well, I guess that's what it is now. It isn't that now, all right? Look at what has been happening. Follow truth, all right? So listen, we saw, we heard, we know the numbers, we saw the tragedy, we lived the travesty, especially the people on the border. We're going to talk about the border today. This is important, and this represents every other thing that someone might say. If you're going to lie about this and think we're just going to swallow it, like we're swallowing a camel, come on. Are you serious? All right. We've seen what's been going on for 4 years, all right? I will say to you, my friends, today, everything I'm saying, go look it up, all right? Look into the info yourself. I got to move this book here before it falls. So first of all, I'm going to say to you that the leftist media said that Kamala was never assigned to do anything at the border. She was never assigned. That's a lie. We have proven fact in statements by President Biden, in statements by Kamala, in many pieces of real news. I know it's hard to find those sometimes, okay? But the secular media, the leftist media, said that Kamala was never assigned to do anything at the border. Yes, she was. Yes, she was. President Biden, who didn't want anything to do with it as well, right? Since I don't know what Kamala really did as a VP, you tell me. I mean, what did she do? What were her projects? Do you remember? Do you know? 4 years. 4 years. What did she do? So Biden said, you, Kamala, are assigned to the border, and saying, and might I quote, on March the 24th, it was a Wednesday afternoon, my friends, in the 3 o'clock hour. I'm being very specific, in 2021. Can I say that again? On March the 24th, so that you can go look it up. On a Wednesday afternoon at 3 o'clock, in the 3 o'clock hour, in 2021. Okay? President Joe Biden announced on that Wednesday that he had appointed VP Kamala Harris to lead efforts to stem, S-T-E-M, stem migration across the U.S.-Mexico border. That was a statement. Go find it. You'll find it. He said it. He said the administration is facing growing political pressures. Not that he thought he was facing political pressures, so he said, oh, well, I guess we better address it. And he called it a surge in undocumented migrant children accompanied by migrant parents undocumented at the border. Let's focus for a minute on that interesting word STEM. He could have used a different one, but he used STEM, which many people will just let it pass by. Oh, STEM, you curb a little bit. That's not what the word STEM means. I think he was very specific in using the word STEM so as not to alarm you that the tragedy was going on, and he made a really big mess up by putting into an executive order in the first 2 days of his presidency. I think it was one of the first things he did on the first day of his presidency 4 years ago. He's like, open the border back up, and he nullified all that President Donald Trump prior had done to close the border and keep us safe. So Biden said stem. Kamala, do what you can do to stem what's happening at the border. So the definition of stem, though, is this. Look it up. Always look it up. To make headway against Something such as an adverse tide, a surge, or a problem, a currency, or a wind, right? To stem in its actual definition means to check and go counter the adverse thing that you are confronting with a solution or a counterattack. Hello, hello, and hello. Biden said he had appointed Kamala Harris during an immigration meeting at the White House in 2021. In 2021, he appointed Kamala Harris to lead the administration's efforts on the border. What did she do? Nothing. But the word is strange, that word stem, in a way. As I said earlier, it was like Biden wasn't wanting to commit to it along with her, that they would have to now admit that signing the executive order to open the border back up that Trump closed, making people have to go through the legal process, okay, was a terrible, terrible tragedy what he had done. Like he opened the border up and now we have a mess, endangering America and all the people coming through. He didn't want to admit that, right? So he said it in a curious way. People coming from where? Mexico, the Northern Triangle, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras. Biden says, yeah, and they, and this is a quote, need help stemming the movement of so many people, stemming the migration on our southern border. Look up the word stem, and it actually means you got to come up with a counterattack and stop the thing. That's not what happened. So, Harris said she decided to focus on 2 tracks. This is what she said, and I quote, I'm going to curb the current flow of migrants. Didn't. Number 2, she said, I will implement a long-term strategy that addresses the root causes of migration. Those 2 things, she didn't do it. Then she said, and also, I'll get the cabinet members, including the Democratic Secretary of the State, who will work closely with me on this. Nope, nope, and nope. So listen, now she's going, I, by my history, have always been strong on security, and I'm tough as nails on the border. No, you're not, and you've never been that, and you won't be. So now you're running for president, and you want to make us believe that you will be, and you may do a couple of things that the appearance of sleight of hand. All right, come on. I believe what you do. So Kamala did go to Guatemala. Did she go once? Did she go more times? She went to Guatemala once, at least I know. And she listened to what? The whole thing to me was backwards, undone, unrealized. There's a word I could use and I'm not going to use it. But Kamala did nothing. She took a plane, had a conversation about what? How it's America's job? Did Kamala say it was America's job to police Mexico and the Northern Triangle and El Salvador and Guatemala and Honduras and every other country that were sending migrants to us? Was it our job to go to you and go, oh, let's help you figure out why you do this? Your job first was to protect the people of the United States of America. You want to get into conversations and actually do something about that and entertain those meetings? Fine. You left us. You left us and hopped on a plane and you didn't even do what you said. You didn't realize anything. What was that long-term strategy that you came up with? Nothing. You did nothing. A U.S. VP is actually going to solve what 6 to 8 other countries and their presidents and their leaders can't figure out on their own. One United States vice president, you're going to go figure out and solve the problems in the presidency in the countries of 8 other countries. Solve ours. You should have been taking care of the United States. In the meantime, you left this one country, us, the one country you were supposed to have pledged allegiance to, wide open, while you sip lemonade or have a meeting and sit down at a table with whoever, at whatever country, whatever. That was not your job. Protecting our country was your job. Your job was to keep America safe from the 6 to 8 other countries that are funneling their migrants straight through our open border by the millions. Hello? Our nation is your priority. Our nation, Kamala Harris, was your priority for 4 years. It was. I mean, it was supposed to be. Was it? No. What long-term strategy did you come up with? Tell me. I'd be interested to know. Okay, that was back in 2021, by the way, when they both agreed and committed to solving it. Not done. Biden said in March of 2021 that Biden was tasked earlier by President Barack Obama when Biden was VP. He said, yeah. Well, I was supposed to coordinate similar efforts in Central America. And did you? Did you? He said there are issues in other regions. Listen. You should be focused on the United States of America, and the other is secondary. Protect us. It's like having a family member who's being attacked every day by a gang that lives down the street. Listen, if I had a husband, I don't. If I had a husband and he was like, whoa, every day when he came home from work, I was beaten up and raped or whatnot by the gang down the street. And he went, oh, okay, well, let me go, maybe a couple times a week, I'll just go sit down and chat with them and figure out and ask them why they want to do such things. Your first job is to protect your family, your children, your wife, your home, your property. Listen, you get that figured out. Your first job would be to protect us. How silly is that? Oh, I'll just go work it out with them. And I don't know if I come up with a long-term strategy, I do. But your first job better be to make sure I'm safe, because they are going to do what they are going to do. And they're doing it every day. And you're just letting it happen, leaving our doors wide open and our house unlocked and unsupervised and no security system, no help. Come on, it's just like that. All right? You better be protecting your family, better be protecting your country. The United States is the family, should be the family of the president and the vice president of our nation. All right, oh my word, come on. You better protect your family first. Now, Harris, seated by Biden's side in 2021, said, oh, there's no question that this is a challenging situation. I remember when she said that. She said that many times. I'm like, okay, a challenging situation and a dangerous tragedy are not the same thing, not even close. And they all said they plan to address the root of migration. Oh, Lord have mercy, this whole time. So how many times are they going to lie and say that Kamala was not assigned to the border? Yes, you were. Yes, you were. And now, when Kamala says in her running for president speeches, I've been tough as nails on border security. That's a quote. That is a lie. It's a lie. You have not been tough as nails on border security. Why do you even say that? The fact that she says it and she believes that you, the American people, will believe her, that disturbs me a lot. We're a whole lot smarter than that. Come on. You need to rise up. Rise up, America. She said, I was never assigned to the border. Yes, you were. She said, there's no crisis at the border. There's always been. No, there's not a problem at the border. No, just a slight challenge. No. And now Kamala is running for president. Whoo! Well, that's a crisis. So we have been knowing and saying this and seeing this, all that have been paying attention for 4 years now. But somehow, the man who hasn't been president for 4 years, who closed all the border and was putting up border walls, I'm talking about former President Trump, and the one that Biden tore down and put a stop to continuing to build, tore down the walls, stopped the building, and opened the borders back up, that guy. Instead of us looking at that person, Biden, and that person, Kamala Harris, no, you're looking at that man, Trump, who's to blame for it all? No, he's not to blame for any of it. Not any of it, all right? Harris's disinformation campaign continued at the Democratic National Convention, where she tried to talk America out of what we have been seeing since 2021. She said, let me be clear. Let me be clear, she said. After decades in law enforcement, I know the importance of safety and security, especially at our border. Really? How awful is it if that statement is true and you willingly did nothing about it? And how equally awful is that statement if you don't believe it at all, but you're just saying it so that you can be elected president? It's all awful. Despite, and I want to bring this up to you today because this happened a couple days ago, and then I've got to end this one for today. There was the Harris-Biden plan of amnesty, and what they were going to do with the amnesty, it got stopped in the court. Pray about this. The Republicans warned that this amnesty, this was the new deal, this amnesty would lead to absolute lawlessness. What was it? Biden and Harris, their deal was to give absolute amnesty to every single illegal person, immigrant, whatever, who came into the United States illegally and has not been pursuing citizenship or whatnot, none of them are going through the proper channels of doing it legally. Some are, I give you that, all right? But the millions and millions that have not, they wanted to immediately give them amnesty, and they wanted to pass it right now. Why? Because they wanted all of them to immediately be given citizenship. You don't know anything about them. You haven't vetted them. Do you know how many we have lost? How many children and adults? Thousands and thousands? I'll give you the numbers tomorrow. Thousands and thousands who they don't even know where they went. They lost them somewhere in Central America. In the center of our America. Okay. They don't even know where they're all at. You didn't vet them. You don't know who they are. You don't know what they're about. You don't know what their tendencies are. Is it selling drugs, rape, pillaging, whatever? You don't know who they are. What I'm saying is this. They wanted to immediately give every single illegal immigrant right now amnesty. So the drug lords and the drug traffickers and the sex slave traffickers of little children, just all of them, woo! I was going to throw all my papers up in the air, but I don't want to get things out of order. I don't want to throw things up in the air like they've been doing, because we need things to be in order. All right? That's all I got for you for today. This has been a PMM, a political ministry moment. So important. You go look it up. You go look it up. I am not trying to elect in, something new, or wow, that was fun what she said, or wow, whatever reason you got. First woman president. I heard interviews from people, I don't know, it would just be cool. It'd be kind of neat to have the first woman president. Well, maybe someday we will, but not this one. Don't you want the right one? I don't care if we never have whatever it is. I want the right president every time. Male, female, whatever color, it doesn't matter. The right one is what matters. And I am voting for President Trump. This is a PMM. You go look up the information, and you need to know. I'm speaking to everybody, but I'm speaking to Christians. God has given us the stewardship of this nation, and you can't close your eyes or look at the policies that they believe in. And if you vote that in, you are responsible, and you will stand before God and be responsible for all the harm that will be done to many. So that's all. I'm just saying, you go look it up. My name is Kimberly Ann, a quick PMM with you. Love you so much. Until next time.